Hey, beautiful humans. Welcome back to Cosmic Confluence. I'm your host, Sana, and today we are going to talk about something. Well, it's one of my favorite topic because it sounds ancient, but it hits painfully right now. Stress, identity confusion, emotional spirals. That pressure to be on all the time like life is one endless performance review. If you have ever thought, I'm doing everything right, so why? Why do I still feel off? You are not broken. You are human and you are also not alone. Listeners, my guest today, Guru Yogi Shivan, he is a teacher who translates ancient Indian wisdom into clear, practical guidance for modern life. No mystical fog machine, just grounded tools for real life. He also leads programs at Indimasi Healing Village with Ayurvedic doctors, traditional healers, and wellness practitioners. So, if you are a parent running on fumes or a professional quietly melting from inside out, a leader caring too much, a caregiver, or a seeker who is trying to make sense of your inner world, you are in the right place. This one's for you. So, Guru Yogi Shivan, welcome to Cosmic Confluence, and it is really, really an honor to have you here with us.
Namaste.
Namaste, namaste, Guruji. Super, super. So before we jump in, listeners, quick vibe check. Okay, this episode is not quit your job and move to a mountain, but it is how do we live inside this modern chaos without losing ourselves. So let's all begin. And Guruji, let's first try to understand this um how how we can bridge this gap, how ancient Indian wisdom can actually help us kind of bridge this gap. Um because I believe people do are now gradually starting to realize that something which is kind of worded as ancient is, it doesn't mean that it is always outdated. But I think we do have to understand the importance, the sanctity, in a very efficient way with some practical, tools and practical work to do that. But when we talk about modern life, it is nonstop. We are bombarded by social media, notifications, deadline, family stuff, money stuff. So when someone says, I am stressed, what does ancient Indian wisdom say is actually happening inside them?
Yeah, it is very clear that if you have a very sophisticated robot with you to help you,
Mm-hmm.
and you don't know how to operate it, you don't know the operation manual, owner's manual, you have not read it, and you press on all wrong buttons, then what's happening? Instead of giving you a cup of coffee, it is giving you a sponge on your face. What will happen then? Exactly, this is what is happening with our body. Body is a sophisticated machine by nature and given to us for a comfortable life. Unfortunately, we have not read the owner's manual. Always you are, or we all are pressing the wrong buttons, and it is giving us uh, chaos. So, ancient wisdom, especially Indian wisdom, had gone through the mechanism of the body. Then they realized that this body has inner dimensions, and they said it's Pancha Sharira, means 5 layers of body is are there. It's called Annamayam, body made of matter. Pranamayam, body made of energy. Manomayam, body made of mind. Vijnanamayam, body made of intellect. Anandamayam, body made of the energy, light, bliss, eternal bliss. Now, what's happening? we know nothing about four dimensions of our life. Modern education is talking about only matter. Body made of matter means the gross spark of our existence. If you ask ourselves, what is our mind? Where is the mind? Have you ever seen an answer for this question? What is our mind? Nowhere it is written because it is beyond explanation. Many people sarcastically they say, "Oh, what is your mind?" Never mind. This is the only answer. So ancient Indian tradition had gone through the depth of the mind. There, the meditation evolved. Again, people started talking about meditation, and it is very, very useful, very, promising. Western education hijacked it, and they started explaining what meditation is, and all these dramas are there. Meditation is nothing but the observation of our own mind. Usually, we use our mind to analyze external things, but in meditation, we use the mind to analyze the mind. This is the essence of Indian tradition, which is explaining the subtle existence of our life. Sharira Manaso Yogo Paraspara Manuvrajet. Sushrata Maharishi, 2300 years ago, it is written in his Sushrata Samhita that matter and mind are complementing each other to give you a comfortable life. Now, what is the modern man's condition? We are depending only, or we know only the matter level. We don't know the energy level. We are ignorant. So, we don't know how to use this sophisticated machine, and we are making or using it in a wrong way. It reacts the wrong way, which is making the life a chaos. So now quantum healing is slowly bringing up this idea. Ancient wisdom is bringing that energy is equal to matter. Means train the mind, then matter. Body will obey its command. This is what is the exact translation of Sushruta Samhita, Sharira Manaso Yogo, Paraspara Manuvraje. So, attending your question, I can just tell you that we must have an inner education about our own reality. That is the only way. Instead of depending only on the material modern education, we should go back to our traditional wisdom to educate ourselves about the inner wisdom of our own life.
Hmm. That is beautifully explained, Guruji. And one, something which I actually didn't know, that I always thought meditation as a way to calm ourselves. But knowing that, it's a way to see into our own minds. Um, I think it's such a beautiful way to look at meditation, because I think it has been translated into so many different meanings, widely, and um, but the actual purpose, I think it somewhere got lost in the translation. So, um, thank you so much for kind of getting us aware about it. And one question that comes to my mind is, Guruji, people don't have time for 20-step routines, because that itself is sometimes, is a huge stress giver. So let's say if we do not have, if someone has genuinely um, just maybe 2 or 5 minutes, between meetings, or maybe tending to their kids, or tending to all the worldly matters. What is do we have any single most effective, like a quick practice that you can give them, that's not cringe, and it can actually work, or it definitely needs time?
See,
Mm.
modern man, or I mean, man in the sense human beings,
Humanly.
are spending lot of time for impressing others. Ladies, they will spend lot of time in the gymnasium and the beauty parlor.
Mm.
Okay, then men are spending a lot of time in the gymnasium and even in the pubs and bars.
Right.
So these are all our own excuses, saying that, oh, I don't have time. People who are not having time to spare for their body and mind, I can assure you that I'm sorry to be a little bit, arrogant. Definitely, they will spend a lot of time in hospitals. This is what is happening now. I am dealing with the diseases which it is labeled as incurable disease or autoimmune states. Why? What's happening? Because people don't know the inner mechanism. They completely ignoring the system and they completely looking forward for external informations. When they get an information, they, without analyzing its reality or its authenticity, they start talking to others to impress others. We should have our inner acceptance and respect from within. For that, everybody is instructed to spend at least 24 minutes a day. We have 24 hours a day for our life. Take 1 minute from each hour.
Mm.
That 24 minutes, we have to sit somewhere, you know, separating ourselves from other things
Mm.
and be in a quiet place and just look inside unconditionally. I will tell you the fact. Yoga, this is what is called yoga. Again, don't get into a conclusion that yoga means acrobatics, like standing on head and making the body as a rubber band. That is not yoga. The word meaning of yoga is union, connection. Okay, just for example, you keep in mind when two gases, hydrogen and oxygen,
Mm.
when these two gases are combining each other, what will be the product? H2O,
Mm.
water.
Yeah.
So hydrogen is combustible, oxygen is complementing fire. In essence, both are complementing fire. But when it united, both of them, dissolve each other, that two gases lost their identity and a new identity evolved. Same way, when we try to bring our mind back to the matter, body, what will happen? Body and mind can merge each other, then both of them will lose their identity and a third reality will be evolved, which is called spiritual awareness. Okay, so third reality, that is the reality and the truth of our own life. Without knowing that, nobody will be happy. This is what Sushruta Maharshi, Charaka Maharshi, Atreya Maharshi, then Patanjali, everybody declared the same.
Mm.
Pranam manodvemidam vilayamne yadyo moksham sagachadi. Means you try to bring your mind through pranayama and merge with the body. Then what will happen? You will be liberated from all your problems. Moksha. Moksha is not something attained after the death.
That.
The verbal meaning of moksha means liberation. If I have a severe headache, I should be relieved from that headache first. That is what is called moksha. Or I should have obesity. I should put my own effort and come out of that uneasiness. That is moksha. So when you experience a mental or a physical, uneasiness, you should come out of that. Liberate yourself from that existing problem. How you can do that? Learn to practice this union between mind and body. It is very simple. I am or our masters are asking only 24 minutes. It's called Narika in Sanskrit. Narika means 24 minutes. 60 Narikas will make a day. So 59 nadigas we can use for here the rest of your life, but this one nadiga, 24 minutes, you should be able to sacrifice for your betterment of body and mind. You should learn that. It must be a practice. It's, if you buy a new car, first you will get some instructions from the company, owner's manual. You are, keen to read the owner's manual, and you will listen the person who is introducing the car to you. Then there will be some rules and regulations. Yeah, after 1,000 kilometers, you should come for the first service. Then every 10,000 or 5,000 kilometers, you should come for periodical checkups and services. You will do that because you are concerned with the safety of that car. But if you are not doing the service, one day you will be forced to take to the car to the workshop.
Yeah.
Same way, our body machine should be taken care of consciously. It's called dinacharya. Daily, you have to attend your body and mind. Not only doing something for the external body, going to the gymnasium, doing some makeups. Internally, the real functions are happening inside. 95% of our functions are involuntary, happening inside. Only 5% is voluntary functions externally. So this 24 minutes, I mean the meditation, union between mind and body, is entertaining or attending the inner functions. So we have to do that. If we do carefully, in an unconditional way, we will not be forced to take the body machine to the workshop, I mean hospitals. So this should be a part of our culture, daily routine. We should educate ourselves. That's all. And not only that, when we try to make this union between mind and body, there will be a lot of hormonal changes within ourselves happening consciously. This is what I should keep in mind. My moods and my emotions are created from the hormones from my body. Just for example, how a person can become angry. If you tell something very bad to somebody or show some ugly things, then the person will feel that, yeah, this lady is talking rubbish. From that conclusion, his adrenal gland will produce adrenaline. So once adrenaline mix up in blood, his BP will shoot up, he will feel angry. This is what's happening. He will become angry. So anger is an outcome of the hormone adrenaline. Next day, you see the same person saying that, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know you were, like honesty and you were doing very good things for the society. So you started telling something very good about that person. Instead of adrenaline, his pituitary gland will produce endorphins,
Yeah.
happy hormones. Once that endorphins are produced, he will get some goosebumps and he is happy. So all these things are based on the hormones developed or produced from within. If you know how to control the productions of your hormones, your life is made by yourself, not by external world. This is what yoga teaches or ancient Indian wisdom teaches.
Hmm. That definitely makes sense, Guruji. Definitely makes sense. And as you beautifully explained that, how ancient teachings say it is talking a lot about the mastery of the mind. But then at the same time, some people, when they would hear that and they would think that, okay, does that mean then um I shouldn't feel anything, or I should control my emotions? Like, my question to you is, Guruji, that in a real life, that it can often turn into like suppression. So how do we define this emotional balance in a way which is healthy, that we know that we are practicing calm, but then we are not actually avoiding our true feelings?
Actually, Again, this is a problem of our own, the limits of understanding. Why should we suppress? Suppression or aggression or expression, everything is happening from within based on the hormones of our own body. If you say something uh, to me which I disagree, once I allow my body to produce a hormone based on that disagreement, if I convert or that awareness into a different way. Just for example, many people came to me so scared and worried about the COVID virus. And they were so scared and panicked. They saying, Guruji, oh, what we will do? So say everybody is, that person is getting, this person is getting. So I told these people, nothing is in nature is produced without a purpose. They agreed, yes. So Mother Nature, cosmic consciousness, has a clarity in each and every action. They said yes. Some people believe in God. Okay, I said Parashakti or God is conscious about everything. Everybody said yes. Then what is the purpose of a virus called COVID virus? It is produced for making our system immune against almost all microorganisms. Can't we think like that? Then people said, yes, they can. Then everything is having two sides. If you take a day and night is there. And you take a creation, male and female, pleasure and pain, heat and cold, the opposites. You take one atom, go to the nucleus. You can see proton and neutron. Electricity can be used only through two channels, either neutral in phase or positive and negative. So without opposites, nothing is available in nature. So COVID virus is coming. Everybody said, oh, it's going to kill us. Hey, death cannot stay alone. Other side is birth. So the COVID virus is coming not as an enemy. It has a friendly face also. So why can't you take it that? Take the friendly face, analyze it, and observe and accept it as a friend who is trying to give you, to enhance your immunity. It is supporting like a vaccination. Then people said, yeah, that also can be possible. So have some, decoctions or some ginger lemon juice and keep your body, like a mucus free. Everybody who came to me and went through that, simple traditional discipline, nobody was, infected with this one. And some people got it. It's like an ordinary cold and fever. It came and went back. So everything is created, produced in our mind. This is why our ancient wisdom declared that Manomayam idam sarvam. Everything is your own mind. If you see something very negative, you will feel it is negative. If you see or internally you just label as positive, it will look like positive. Because the external world is Maya. Maya means illusion. Brahma Satyam, Jagat Mithya. Our masters declared that the manifested world, the material world which you are expecting or experiencing as Jagat, Jagat means the material world, is only an illusion. Okay, around 20, 50 years ago, people, modern science said these things are exaggerated stories or primitive beliefs of ancient people. But now, ultra modern physics, quantum physics, is declaring that there is no material world existing the way you perceive. Matter is keep on mutating. So this is what is, in a poetic way, ancient masters said Brahma Satyam, Jagat Mithya. Now, modern science is, explaining it through a rigid scientific language. That is the only difference. So, what is our purpose? Take from this ancient wisdom, which was close to our inner self, verify with modern science, which is close to equipments and external things, integrate within ourselves by using this 24 minutes every day, and you will become a complete, healthy, wealthy, happy person. That is the only way, which was a culture, a cultural significance of ancient India. See, like minimum 2 to 3,000 years ago, if you go through the history of India, the society was really, really happy and wealthy. Okay. Many studies are saying India was the richest country in the world. Around 30 to 35% of the total GDP was contributed by this country. And everybody was rich and everybody was happy. So, why and how they were having that, elevated society? Because of this coordination between the material and the spiritual world, the external and internal balance. Unfortunately, somehow after the invasion and material, scientific, you know, uh, like problem.
Mm-hmm.
So this modern science, science, the over influence of this modern science, all these things, like I can say it's completely destroyed. But now I see here and there from different parts of the world, this ancient wisdom is being more appreciated, and it is slowly being revived. And different parts of the world, it is very significant. But I don't know much about India because the present mind stuff of India is like a little bit, running after the modern world. Okay, now we can wait for the modern world or modern world or the Western world to understand the real value of this ancient wisdom. Once they adopt it, mostly Indians also will be forced to adopt it. This is what I feel.
And that is interesting. That is interesting. And you know, what I can say is, this is like a cycle which, keeps on going and going, because if we look at through centuries and through history, whether it's human civilizations or it's the flora and fauna of the planet, it's ever evolving. We may not be able to feel every day these changes because they're happening at a huge scale, but um, I think the creation and the destruction, it's like a cycle. If there's destruction, there is always a creation as well. That's how nature works. And I also believe that um, not making it completely, how people would say that, it is pseudoscience or it is woo woo or it's not spiritual, but it's more of a religious, uh, religious approach. I believe that, our ancient Indian teachings, they have dealt with aspects which are still relevant in the modern day and age, whether it's our holistic health or it is even our identity. And that's where my last question to you, Guruji, would be, because right now we have, so many. Sometimes even I personally ask that, who am I if my job title is straight, snatched from me, without my relationships, without my productivity? Who exactly am I? What is my purpose here on this planet, in this universe? And in your work, what does ancient wisdom say about identity, and why do you think modern identity feels so fragile?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's fragile because we are not rigid. We must have a fundamental stability about the knowledge of our own self. As we started this discussion,
Hmm.
we said, or I told you, we modern science is depending only on the dimension of matter.
Hmm.
Matter is the grossest form of the reality. So it's like a child who is standing in front of the infinite ocean, thinking that, wow, it's an amazing scene. Everything is, yeah, like for the child, the waves are countless, and it may be realistic.
Hmm.
For the child, it will be real. So what I can tell you is, modern man, materially educated man, is like a child who is standing in front of the infinite ocean and enjoying the waves. We all are standing in front of this cosmic ocean like the child. Child doesn't know anything about the depth and the reality of the ocean. Only, that surprise is there.
Yeah.
So when we dive deep into our own self through meditation, we will come to know the subtle side of our existence. As you asked, from where you are born, why you are born, why you are growing, and why do you die, and what is after death. So these questions are not answered in our intellectual plane. Modern science, the material science, is only a product of intellectual plane, too limited to explain the infinite reality. So this is what modern, our ancient uh, teachings are focusing only on inner observation. I obliterate the boundaries of your intellect, then you experience the infinity. Intellect is too limited to explain the infinity. Unless you reach to that domain of your existence, you will not get answers for these fundamental questions like who am I? So it is not, you know, it cannot be explained, but it can be experienced through daily practice. That is why in ancient Indian tradition, it was mandatory for everybody to spend at least 24 minutes either for meditation or for prayer. Again, people think, oh, I'm taking prayer, I'm going to this temple, that temple, and do these rituals. No, prayer is an English word taken from prarthana, from Sanskrit. Prarthana means prana, arthana, prarthana.
Hmm.
Arthana means attainment, prana means the subtle cosmic energy. So you should withdraw your attention from external material things, must be focused within, then you will attain a certain energy which is called prana. That is what is called pranarthana, translated in English as prayer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so learn the scientific side of prarthana or prayer and do it sincerely and unconditionally. Then you will find answers for all your questions, coming from within.
Hmm. I really love that. I love that. And finally, before we conclude, Guruji, this often has been a kind of um, a debate or very polarizing discussions, around how Indian medical systems like Ayurveda, Siddha, are out there. In a way, modern science can actually evaluate or not evaluate. Where do you personally draw the line between what is evidence aligned versus what is tradition or a belief?
For me, there is no border.
Okay.
People who are getting into the limited consciousness, yes, they will have border. So, like, if you ask a person who is, you know, blind by birth, and you ask something about the colors, how you can teach the difference between red and blue to a blind man?
Cannot. That is not possible.
because he cannot see what color is. Maximum what you can do is ask him or take him to a hospital and find the reason for his blindness and remove it if possible. Once he gets his vision back, he will come to know what color is. No need to teach him. Same way, the essence of Ayurveda and Siddha is, you know, lying in our inner consciousness. It needs that inner awareness, which is called a sixth sense. We should be able to shut our five senses and go deep into the inner sense, which is called the sixth sense or third eye or yoga drishti in India. It's called inner awareness. Or I can use a modern language. We have to be more instinctive. See, animals and birds are living in this world, without any problem. They will have problems, but they know how to handle it because they are connected through their instinctive play.
Yes.
We are all having an animal instinct within. Once it is not used for long time, generations, we are not using that animal instinct and we depend only on intellect. That is where we miserably fail. So what we should do, or Ayurveda and Siddha or yoga therapy, all Indian traditional teachings are focusing or insisting everybody to activate the instinct, the subconscious level. Modern science also declaring this now. The conscious level dimension, our consciousness is only handling maybe 5%. The 95% of our activities are in our subconscious level.
Yeah.
So explore that. That is the only way. Otherwise, the modern people will say evidence based, evidence based. Evidence based means, they are, you know, like making noise like blind children. They're complaining about the colors. A guy who is having the vision, he's saying that there are 7 colors. Then the blind children will say, how can you say that? How can you prove it? How that person can prove it? This is what is the real crisis. Otherwise, this modern world or modern scientific world should develop more sophisticated mechanisms like a Kirlian camera, biophoton camera, magnetotherapy, whatever it is, which can make or evaluate the nuances of our own, like existence. Once the modern science advances, then the gap between the ancient wisdom and the modern science will become less. That is the only way.
Mm, that's so much. That's so much late in him because um, it can be very easy to be dismissive because we may have like this a veil of uh, kind of sometimes ego, or maybe we may absolutely not believe because maybe our belief system does not work in that way. But I think it invites openness, humility, and also surrendering to the fact that yes, sometimes it's not just what we see, but then our instincts, our intuitiveness, intuition, that's what we call, that is something human which may not always be proven through any scientific method. You can just feel it, or you can realize it within, you can see it within yourself. It may not be tangible. So I really loved how you explained it. And before we wrap up, Guruji, I'm very sure our listeners will be so much eager to explore deep down into this further. So where can they connect with you and learn more about the wisdom that you are sharing, more about the ancient Indian teachings, and also Indimasi Healing Village?
Yeah, we have a website, uh, indimasi.com, and almost all informations are there. And in Trivandrum, we have an ashram where around 60 people can stay and learn all these things or treat for different diseases. So this is an integrated center Ayurveda, Siddhaveda, Yoga, Naturopathy, and all these things.
Mm.
So it is in Trivandrum. People can just come over here. It's around a 30 minutes drive from Trivandrum International Airport. Or I am giving online classes also. So everybody can be in touch with us through our website.
That's absolutely wonderful. Listeners, I'm going to make this very easy. Just refer to the show notes. I'll have all the links. And please check out Indimasi Healing Village and check out their website, check out their classes. You can also check out online classes if you're not able to attend it physically. And Guruji, I mean, I must really thank you for keeping this grounded. Uh, because I really respect that you're not selling anything like magic, but you're offering us a framework with practical steps and also a calmer way to meet life without numbness or chaos. So thank you so much.
Yes, you are always welcome. Say thank you for spending time with us, and looking forward to see you again. Thank you.
Okay, same. Thank you so much, Guruji, and thank you to all the listeners. Um, I hope like if today's episode it starts something within you. Don't overthink it, but then you can pick one tool from this episode and maybe run it for 7 days, 24 minutes every day, not perfectly, just consistently. Track one signal, maybe your sleep, your reactions, your body tension, your clarity, and that's how you turn wisdom into data. And if you are overwhelmed, you do not need a new personality. You need a new relationship with your nervous system, with yourself, with your identity and your attention. Small changes, big compounding ROI. And also, do share this episode with someone who's high functioning but they're quietly struggling. And if you want more episodes that bridge this gap between spirituality, psychology, science, and real life strategy, hit follow on Cosmic Confluence. And thank you to everyone for tuning. I, your host Sana, will catch you in the next episode. Thank you.